Welcome to Spicy Toast Gaming. Thank you for tuning in to another Spicy Toast video, and today we're going to be covering the top defensive champions. Now, the way I am structuring this is the champions that are able to win the game without ever having to attack. So there's some champions that may have a more defensive playstyle, but more are categorized under control, such as Ashe or Yasuo. So I'm not going to be listing any control champions in this playstyle. I'm just trying to do this as champions that can win the game without ever having to attack. And this is also really important because a lot of us have been wanting a different playstyle other than just the go fast, go hard meta. And so here are some champions that, while they might not be as top tier as some of the very aggressive decks, they do have an interesting playstyle and are able to just end the game without ever having to attack. We're going to start off with Jinx. Now, Jinx isn't normally considered a defensive champion, but for this list, for champions that are able to end the game without ever having to attack, Jinx is definitely one of those champions. Now, I am putting her at the bottom because she doesn't really feel very much like a defensive champion. But with her star powers, she is able to sit back and not have to worry about attacking, just letting the passive damage of her star powers chip away at the enemy nexus. And then with her relics, you can normally craft a build, especially once you get several rare relics, to be able to just annihilate the nexus as soon as you play Jinx. So Jinx, very powerful, generally the first champion you get. And if you want a more defensive playstyle, she can fit the bill. Up next, we have Kindred. So Kindred, every round you're summoning that prey, and if you let it stay on the board, it can stack up and deal a massive amount of damage, especially if you have Kindred at the 3 stars. So every round it's going to do 2 damage to the enemy nexus, or that damage is going to stack on it. And the fact that you can stack up multiple preys at the same time gives Kindred a very defensive playstyle, especially with her different abilities such as Spirit Journey to kill your own units or protect them, or stop the enemy from attacking. Kindred actually has a very defensive playstyle, actually feels much more defensive than like a Jinx. So if you're wanting a champion where you can sit back, just worry about protecting your own units and stopping enemy threats from attacking you, Kindred works out very well. You will probably want to get Kindred to 3 stars in order to really fulfill that fantasy of not having to attack and be purely defensive. But very fun champion and can give you a very unique playstyle. Up next for our honorable mention, we have Ornn. Now, Ornn doesn't quite fit the bill, as you normally still need to attack at least once with him, but he does have a very good defensive playstyle of stacking up a very powerful item and then dropping Ornn on the board, letting him copy that, and then use that to absolutely annihilate the enemy nexus. Now, in the lower level adventures, you could throw a Gatebreaker or 2 on Ornn, and that way he could just come on the board and destroy the nexus that way. But if you're going against Galio or Aurelion Sol, you are going to have to be attacking in order to win, so he doesn't quite fit the bill for our champions that can win without attacking, but he does have a very good defensive playstyle, which is why I'm putting him here for our honorable mention. Finally, for my top pick for most defensive champion, we have Veigar. So Veigar, the Tiny Master of Evil, in my opinion, has the best defensive playstyle. So unlike most champions, you just want Veigar to sit on your board. Every round he's going to be increasing the damage of your darkness, and then if he levels up by dealing 12 damage with darkness, he is able to target anything with his darkness spell, including the enemy nexus. So this way you are having some removal, you're trying to just sit back and defend your Veigar while these darkness stack up, and then you are able to transition into just destroying the enemy nexus with these spells. And these are getting generated every single round, and they can go at burst speed, so there's nothing your enemy can do to try to defend or stop them. Very fun, unique playstyle. Unlike most champions, Veigar doesn't want to attack or block. You just want him to sit on your board and survive. So a lot of other decks, normally the way they work is you want to stack as many copies of the champion as you can, and you want to get as many items on that champion and just use them to end the game essentially as soon as they're played. Veigar, you have a much slower defensive playstyle, and you never need to worry about attacking. You just wait until you can destroy the Nexus with your spells. So I think it's a lot of fun, and I would consider it to be the best defensive playstyle we have currently in the game. That's it for my list though. Comment down below what you think, who you would pick for defensive champions. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching that video all the way to the end. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. We're putting out daily videos covering everything Path of Champions. Hope you guys have a great new year.